This is ABC 7 News at 6.
President Trump explained his rationale for striking Iran by saying the U.S. was, quote, nearly under threat, suggesting Iran was working on missiles capable of hitting the U.S. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. The president is adamant this is not an endless war like the ones he campaigned against, but has not specified what his goals are before pulling troops out of the region. ABC's Christiane Cordero has the latest from Washington.
In his first public appearance since the massive military operation in Iran, today President Trump shared the threat he saw in deciding to strike and kill much of the Iranian regime's leadership.
The regime already had missiles capable of hitting Europe and our bases, both local and overseas, and would soon have had missiles capable of reaching our beautiful America.
Earlier this year, the Defense Intelligence Agency determined Iran was working to develop missiles capable of reaching the U.S. within 9 years. Regarding an imminent threat, sources tell ABC News Trump administration officials told congressional staff there was no known plan from Iran to launch a preemptive strike against the U.S. Still, the Pentagon says Trump gave the okay for the operation Friday afternoon.
Our country itself would be under threat, and it was very nearly under threat.
Democrats and some Republicans are now slamming the administration for going around Congress.
There was simply no basis to go in with this massive military campaign with the goal of regime change. And the concern here is that we have unleashed factors in the region now that we cannot control.
Trump has not specified how long the operation will continue or what the administration's ultimate goal is.
We projected 4 to 5 weeks. But we have capability to go far longer than that.
The Iranian regime today said it's prepared for a long war with the U.S. An Iranian aid group says hundreds of people have so far been killed in the strikes. The Defense Department says 4 American service members have also been killed and 18 others seriously wounded in Iran's retaliation. 3 American F-15 fighter jets were also downed. The Pentagon says they were mistakenly shot by Kuwait, a U.S. ally. All 6 crew members were able to parachute out and are safe. Christiane Cordero, ABC News, Washington.
Well, Governor Janet Mills spoke with reporters during an event in Orono today in which she described the Trump administration's military operation in Iran as unconstitutional. With a war powers resolution expected to go before Congress this week, Governor Mills is hoping to see Congress affirm its authority over the executive branch.
I came of age during Vietnam. My colleagues, my classmates, my friends didn't have a choice. They were drafted and called up to go to a war that many of them didn't believe in. I don't want to see another forever war without full consultation, authorization from the people's representatives, the people of Congress, the members of Congress. This is a dangerous and reckless unilateral action, and I fear for the results.
Meanwhile, Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate Graham Plotner held what his campaign called an emergency anti-war protest in Brewer last night to speak out against the joint attack on Iran. He was joined by dozens of community members who collectively rejected the prospect of war in Iran. Plotner, who served in the United States Marine Corps and Army National Guard, described the conflict as an abuse of power by the Trump administration. He echoed Governor Mills' push for Maine's congressional delegation to support the war powers resolution.
We cannot continue to act in this fashion. We cannot continue to get young Americans killed just to serve the interests of someone in power. That is not the way that we should be acting as a nation, and we need to be figuring out how do we claw that power back from the executive branch and put it back into the hands of those who deserve it constitutionally, which is Congress.
Meanwhile, gas prices are up and they could keep climbing thanks to the strikes on Iran. According to Gas Buddy, the price of a gallon of gas rose 1.8 cents a gallon last week to an average of $2.90 a gallon. That is 3.5 cents a gallon higher than a month ago, but still 14.5 cents a gallon lower than a year ago. Gas Buddy's head of petroleum analysis, Patrick Dahan, said, quote, looking ahead, markets will now begin reacting to this weekend's U.S.-Iran attacks, which have elevated geopolitical risk premiums even in the absence of immediate supply disruption. Oil prices have firmed as traders assess the potential for further escalation. In other news tonight, jury selection was slated to begin today in the manslaughter trial of Jason Hewitt in Knox County. Instead, Hewitt has now pleaded guilty to manslaughter in the death of 45-year-old Kyle McDougal in Cushing in 2024. According to unsealed court documents, the fatal shooting was allegedly a response to the victim allegedly stealing money and tampering with the truck belonging to the person who pulled the trigger. 3 people were there at the time of the shooting. According to those documents, they are all facing charges. Police initially learned about the killing when a tip led them to a home on River Road in Cushing. They found 42-year-old Mark Gagne allegedly burning the remains of McDougal's body and other evidence in a barrel. Hewitt will be sentenced on March 10th. Well, the man arrested in connection with vandalism at the Burnt Cove Market in Stonington over the weekend was in court this afternoon. 41-year-old Mark Vallejos is charged with criminal mischief and possession of a firearm by a prohibited person. The Hancock County Sheriff's Office says deputies responded to the Burnt Cove Market in the early morning hours of March 1st after it was reported to have been vandalized and thousands of dollars of damage had been done. They say during the incident, Vallejos allegedly damaged the storefront and multiple vehicles that were parked at the store before brandishing a firearm and fleeing the scene. In court today, bail for Vallejos was set at $1,500 cash. He is scheduled to be back in court in April. And now, folks, we'll pause for a first look at our forecast.
Thank you, Beth. Our first weather today is brought to you by Old Town Redemption Center, now offering a 10% bonus on your returnables and a monthly $100 drawing. Plenty of sunshine out there across Bangor for today, but it is a bit on the cooler side out there as our highs are below average. Only near 20 degrees here in Bangor, low to mid-20s along your coastline. Some of us getting close to 30, but not quite down into the southwestern portion of the state. As you head further north, a little bit cooler for you with highs only in the mid to upper teens for Greenville, Millinocket, Holton, up in the Presque Isle as well. But for tonight, really cooling off. We'll have clear skies out there, light winds after being a little breezy at times for today. But the wind will pick up again tomorrow afternoon as we get some increasing cloud cover, and then we do have some more snow on the way for tomorrow night. Going to be passing by the Bangor and definitely the coastal regions that can stretch up as north of going into the Millinocket area, but much of that snow is going to fall near Bangor and along your coastline. So taking a look into tonight, though, no snow just yet, mostly clear skies with cold temperatures falling down into the single digits. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much. And just ahead, more of your local news.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Whether you can pinpoint the problem or can't quite put your finger on it, the friendly professionals from Coastal Auto Parts can help point you in the right direction. With Maine's largest network of parts, you can trust your vehicle will have what it needs to get you to the moments that matter most. Because Napa knows the keys to a winning team. With 30 locations in Maine, Coastal Auto Parts helps keep our communities running with quality parts and helpful people. That's Napa know-how. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
In Maine, recovery has many paths. Some are steady, some twist and turn. Every story we've shared showed change is possible. Hope is real, and no one has to walk the hard parts alone. Through options, people are finding support that matches their own journey. Talk with a local liaison. Explore what recovery can look like today. Know your options. Maine is with you.
A sharp pain in his chest. He knew it was his heart, but 2 hours from the big city hospital could tragically mean the end. But it wasn't. Thanks to Senator Susan Collins' tireless fight for Maine's rural hospitals. Because of Senator Collins' work, his local hospital had recently received up-to-date diagnostic equipment and upgraded facilities, all paid for with new federal funding. Lives are being saved. Call and thank our Senator Susan Collins for delivering this lifeline for Maine.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Governor Janet Mills joined residents, housing advocates, and state and local leaders today to celebrate the preservation and rehabilitation of 24 affordable housing units in Orono through the state's Affordable Housing Tax Credit Program. This as advocates are pushing for lawmakers to approve an extension of that program. Our Grace Blanchard shares more.
As decades-old federal rural housing loans are paid off, state officials warn that Maine is at risk of losing hundreds of affordable housing units to privatization.
And the possibility of unaffordable rent increases was very frightening to all of us.
That was almost the case for a 24-unit affordable housing complex in Orono after the longtime owner decided to sell in 2023, leaving residents on edge about its uncertain future.
The waiting list to get into affordable housing programs in other parts of, either Penobscot County or Maine, there's a waiting list that's pretty long. So I think we were kind of, all very nervous about, where are we all going to go?
To residents' relief, the Housing Authority of the City of Old Town assumed ownership of Mainview Apartments in late 2024.
He could have sold it to anybody, and the rents could have gone up tremendously, but we were able to preserve the housing, preserve it, and do a lot of improvements, and the residents only pay 30% of their income.
They were then able to make safety and accessibility improvements to the facility through the state's Affordable Housing Tax Credit Program, which the governor signed into law in 2020.
It would have been tragic for them to have lost this housing, lost their homes to development.
The governor has proposed a $70 million investment in housing to address affordability and increase supply. Legislation to extend the affordable housing tax credit is also pending, as housing advocates emphasize that preserving existing affordable housing is as important as building new homes.
There is a real threat to sort of displacement of people if we don't successfully bring together the resources and find the partners who are willing to do this work with us.
In Orono, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Lawmakers in Augusta are looking at a new way to tackle Maine's housing crisis by turning empty school buildings into affordable homes. The bill, sponsored by Representative Tracy Geer, would create a vacant school housing conversion program. A similar concept has already been adopted by several Maine communities, including Waterville, where the former Gilman School now serves as housing. Geer says the goal is to make that option possible for more communities. The proposal calls for setting aside $5 million a year to help towns cover planning, construction, and infrastructure costs needed to transform unused schools into housing.
The need for housing can be met in many places because they have vacant school buildings. So there are several dozen vacant schools around the state that are potential candidates for development into housing. But some of the projects are really challenging to put together. So we have a great opportunity.
Geer says it preserves community landmarks while creating much-needed affordable housing options. The Maine Redevelopment Land Bank Authority would oversee the program and report back to lawmakers on its progress if the bill passes. Well, a historic local church that's been abandoned for years is at risk of being torn down. Potential new owners may save its fate, though. Bucksport officials told the owner of the vacant historic former United Methodist Church that if he doesn't address the building's repair needs, it would have to be torn down. According to Luke Chiavelli, who handles code enforcement for the town of Bucksport, the building has serious water damage, animal infestations, mold, and an unstable foundation. The church has been abandoned since 2019 when the previous congregation could not afford its repairs. Chiavelli says a Canadian clock dealer bought the church for the clock in the steeple, and it has sat untouched ever since.
It's a historic building, and it would be a shame for it to come down, and it would also be expensive for it to come down. But if something's not done, then eventually that's where it'll end up. It's time for us to do something to address. It can't just sit there and rot forever.
Chiavelli says he spoke with the church's current owner this morning, and he is in the process of potentially selling it. The next steps are for the church's owner to get a structural engineer to examine the church and determine what repairs need to be done. Chiavelli says if the owners came forward with a plan, it doesn't have to be completed immediately. They just have to start working on the repairs. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey was in Carmel to highlight a game that has brought a community together for ages. And in sports, state champions are crowned over the weekend, and up in Howland, the Penobscot Valley girls climbed another mountain. That story is after the break.
Roto-Rooter has served the greater Bangor area and beyond for 35 years, offering plumbing, hydrojetting, snaking, descaling, video inspection, and grease interceptor cleaning services. For all your residential and commercial clogs, call Roto-Rooter today, 990-1234.
And away go troubles down the drain. Roto-Rooter.
What matters more? A bank with innovative products or one that cares for the community? At Bangor Savings Bank, we think it's both because our innovation helps customers build stronger credit, earn rewards when shopping local, give teens independence and financial experience, and simplify business with local solutions. So what matters more? You.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon, an international sensation, but you haven't heard them.
March 16 at the Cross Insurance Center. Get your tickets today.
Dorsey Furniture has just purchased the entire Bedding Industries of America 2025 showroom. That's one of America's oldest and largest premium mattress manufacturers. They manufacture famous Eastman House and Eclipse mattresses, as well as over 20 other trusted brands. From that buyout, we've received 40 mattresses, mostly queen size. And right now, everyone is 50% off. Limited quantity, no reorders. When they're gone, they're gone. Dorsey Furniture, family owned, Maine trusted.
Sleep well, my friends.
ABC 7 and Fox 22's Jack Webb named Maine's Sportscaster of the Year by the National Sports Media Association.
Welcome back in, folks. On Saturday, Nets were cut down and state champions of the Maine High School basketball tournament were crowned after 3 weeks of action, which included the Penobscot Valley Howlers. The Howlers won their second straight title as they beat Mount Abram on Saturday. Last year, they ran the table in Class C, but this year, they conquered Class D. PVHS came into the tournament as the 4 seed. They dropped 3 games to Bangor Christian and 2 to Class C champion Mattinock Academy in the regular season, but the Howlers bought into that underdog mentality and came out on top.
It's a lot different feeling because we knew that a lot less people believed in us this year, and honestly a lot of people probably wanted us to lose after last year. So
it feels really great. We knew coming into the season that it would be hard, losing some really good starters and players, but this team we have so much fun together.
For the Howlers, that underdog mentality was forged after their loss to Mattinock, and before the tournament started, there was a week-long gap filled with just practice. Head coach Nate Case says he challenged his team to give their coaches the best effort and hardest week of practice they've had all year, and Case says that is what made the difference in the state final on Saturday.
When opportunity comes, it's too late to prepare then. So we knew after we lost to MA, we have to start preparing for this moment then. So we were prepared to play 32 minutes, and our coaching staff pregame said, girls, this is the first time all year that we knew that no matter the opponent, we're ready for 32, right? And so and trusting that defense each time, we knew we were ready for 32 minutes of our brand of basketball, playing defense every time, sprinting back, and it came from that preparation.
How cool is that for those seniors? 1 year, you're the undefeated favorite. The next year, you're a number 4 seed, the underdog. Both years, you're a state champion. That is very cool. We'll completely switch gears now and go to the pavement. There was NASCAR history made on Sunday. Tyler Reddick, driver of Michael Jordan and Denny Hamlin's number 45 car, won his third straight race on Sunday down at the Circuit of Americas in Austin, Texas. Reddick, who had won at the Daytona 500 and the Texas Grand Prix as well. Simply put, there have been 3 races to start the NASCAR season, and Tyler Reddick has won all of them. That's never been done in NASCAR's 77-year history. Now, it's only fitting that if there were to be a three-peat in racing, it would be tied to Michael Jordan, right? Well, here's the co-owner and one of the greatest competitors of all time, Michael Jordan, after the win.
Well, I'm proud of the team that we put together. I mean, Denny, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. He feels the same way as I do. And I think a lot of credit goes to him because I think he's the mastermind behind finding Tyler and putting together, you know, Billy Scott and all that. Look, I just put up the money. I'm just a competitor. But I think Denny's done an unbelievable job in terms of helping build this team. And I think the team has done a good job in just taking our leadership and going out and winning. That's what it's about, winning.
MJ is going to get that competitive fix in somehow, right? That's all the time we have for sports. Here is your full 5-day forecast.
Thank you, Jack. This evening's weather is brought to you by Blazing Trails, located in Lincoln. Blazing Trails provides outstanding products and customer service to Penobscot County. Blazing Trails, they're blazing the trails to holistic medicine. All right, highs for today, a bit on the cooler side, even though we saw plenty of sunshine out there. Low to mid-20s here in the Bangor and coastal regions. We saw that stretch down to Sanford at 25 for you today, but a bit cooler if you head further north of town. We saw mid to upper teens for Greenville, Millinocket, Holton, and Presque Isle out there this afternoon, even with all the sunshine we had across the state. And for tonight, skies are staying clear. The winds are going to go light, so what that means is a lot of radiational cooling, and that's going to drop our temperatures into the single digits for tonight. We could get close to 0. Even this model shows that 7. We're forecasted at 2 for tonight, like you're seeing here in Monson. Those single digits do exist as you head further north as well. Wouldn't be surprised if a few of you fell below 0. Won't be by much, but as you see along your coastline, better chances of staying in the teens out there for tonight. But we are going to increase those temperatures back above freezing for tomorrow. Get into the mid-30s, even though we'll see some increasing cloud cover throughout the day. Looks like a lot of us are going to see those mid-30s, even down into the southwestern portion of the state, with a mixture of low to mid-30s as you head a bit further north for tomorrow. So those average highs are going to be right around average for tomorrow. That average is right at around 36 degrees, but we'll be back above it for your Wednesday. A lot of up and down temperatures this week. You can see back near freezing for your Friday, but then low to mid-40s set into your weekend on Saturday and Sunday, and then start off the work week on Monday next week with those highs reaching for 50 degrees. We're going to see a lot of warmer temperatures going through the month of March as we begin to heat up for spring, right? So out there for today, much of the wind is from the west, and it can be a little breezy at times, but not too bad, right? Many of us right around 5 to 10 miles per hour. If you're seeing wind out there, it's gusting near 15, maybe 20 at times. But for tonight, that wind is going to lighten up, allowing those temperatures to drop, but it will pick up again tomorrow ahead of our chances for snow for tomorrow night. So here comes the increasing clouds for tomorrow morning and afternoon. The wind will be picking up during this as well, but still a little bit of sunshine is going to warm us above freezing for tomorrow, but then mostly cloudy tomorrow night. As those temperatures fall back below freezing, we'll see plenty of chances for snow here in Bangor, your coastal regions, possibly stretching up north to Millinocket as well, but you'll definitely see less than you're going to see here in Bangor and your coastal regions. Looking at 2 to 4 inches of snowfall here in Bangor, with a little bit more down nearby Portland, but that will all be out of here by Wednesday morning. And Wednesday afternoon, you'll see sunshine once again, and that could most likely be melted away as those highs will be in the mid-40s then. So for tonight, we're going to be cold out there, lows near 2 with the clear skies, a few increasing clouds late. Otherwise, those winds will stay calm for tonight. As you see into tomorrow, back above freezing, partly cloudy and breezy. During the afternoon, those winds can be gusting near 25 miles per hour at times, but they will lighten up heading into tomorrow night with those snow chances returning to the area. So you don't see the snow chances on here because we only show the daytime forecast, but Tuesday night into your Wednesday, the snow will return to the area. We're going to melt much of it away on Wednesday with highs in the mid-40s, upper 30s for your Thursday, back near freezing for Friday, a slight chance for snow, but then that could turn into a slight chance for rain as highs are back in the low to mid-40s heading into your weekend on Saturday. Beth?
Chase, thank you so much, and there is still more to come. Stay with us.
There are so many fun things to do in Maine. Now you can enjoy more for less. Check out half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
Little Miss Davis Sweets and Treats, a home-based business that specializes in homemade baked goods. Everything I bake is made to order. I specialize in baking homemade fudge, brownies, cupcakes, giant cookies, and large gingerbread men.
There's a limited supply available. It's on sale right now. Save with half-off deals from foxbangor.com.
So Dale, you really need to get that colon cancer screening.
Dad, it's been forever. I need to be in there. Wrap it up. Come on, Dad. It's taking forever.
How much longer?
It's been an hour. Are you
Dale?
done yet?
Dale, don't worry. We can do it with just a blood test. Shield.
Okay, let's do it.
Shield is for people 45 plus at average risk, not high risk for colon cancer. Ask your doctor about FDA-approved Shield from the company trusted in blood tests for cancer for over a decade.
In winter, accidents can happen in an instant. From icy sidewalks to winter roads, there are close calls around every corner. And when a close call becomes something more, insurance companies won't always look out for you, but we will. For over 50 years, the law offices of Joe Bornstein have helped injured Mainers. Accidents happen to be our specialty. When it's more than a close call, call Joe.
Keep your feet on the ground, they said. So many people have told you you can't. They say you don't listen. So you don't listen to them. You rise to your moment. It feels like every idea is crystal clear. It feels like every line, every angle is perfect. It feels like you are at the top of your game with high-speed, reliable, no-stress Fidium fiber internet.
It feels like Fidium.
Bingo is an old-fashioned game that's still a modern-day attraction to competitors of all ages. Our Jody Hersey takes us to Bingo Night in Carmel, where the winning numbers are always changing.
22.
What started out as a carnival game here in America is now a weekly pastime in many Maine communities.
Oh, I love bingo.
Sandra Storman is just one of the players that attend Bingo Night at the Carmel Snowmobile Club each week.
Yeah, you have to get here early and get your seat you want.
Carmel Snowmobile Club President Tricia Babcock says the game always draws a crowd.
It's a glue to our community. Like, a lot of people really enjoy it. It's kind of the older crowd, but the younger crowd's actually getting drawn into it.
The traditional game of bingo, where players aim to get 5 numbers in a horizontal, vertical, or diagonal line, is still a favorite that's played before each novelty game, where the players use their daubers to create winning shapes or patterns. Research shows playing bingo improves people's memory, cognitive function, and hand-eye coordination.
35, 17.
Dean Washburn has been calling the numbers for as long as he can remember.
Then it was 75 when we got the building out and what have you. Bingo's been going in it ever since the building was put up because it basically pays a lot of the bills.
Many of the participants say they have a lucky seat, a good luck charm, or a favorite colored dauber that gives them a winning edge. But for Mark Willie, the game of bingo is just all about the numbers.
There's no really rhyme or reason. You just got to have the numbers when they're called.
In Carmel, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
And I'm willing to bet the more competitive you are at bingo, the more superstitions you may be bringing to your game. Regardless, it's great to see it being such a nice point to gather at for the community. Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. We'll see you over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Attack on Iran.
Acknowledged that you had 94 people watching and commenting on her.
It was more on me, though. The angle wasn't adjusted right, but it was more on me. If you saw the video closely. Yeah, if you see the video closely, it's more focused on me.
Well, because you're a narcissistic idiot. It showed her face. It displayed her voice.
She didn't have to get in the car. She knew the camera was in front of my face. She could have easily left.
Judgment for the plaintiff in the amount of $5,000. Your counterclaims dismissed. We're done. Thank you.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
No, I usually let them know and try and have a good time.
I was bullied severely online.
I said it's okay if I film on Twitch.
I had death threats from people.
I guess she was the only one available that night.
I'm gonna run if someone has a selfie stick, and
because I'm open to everything.
that is just completely wrong and
I guess the law is not always justified.
just an evil thing to do.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
U.S. Central Command says 6 Americans have now been killed following the start of the U.S. military operation in Iran. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. The president and his cabinet are speaking to Americans about what's at stake. Fox's Caroline Shively reports.
President Trump tells Americans to prepare for more casualties as the Pentagon says even more U.S. forces are headed to the Middle East. The USS Spruance firing Tomahawk missiles towards Iran as Operation Epic Fury rages on. President Trump says the U.S. anticipates a 4 to 5 week military operation, but acknowledged it could go far longer than that.
Whatever the time is, it's okay, whatever it takes.
At a Medal of Honor ceremony at the White House, President Trump laid out the U.S.'s major objectives for its military operation, including taking out Iran's ballistic missiles and Navy, preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon, and stopping Iranian-funded proxy attacks.
There would come a point where they have so many conventional missiles, so many drones, and it can inflict so much damage that no one can do anything about their nuclear